Mihai Crasneanu, lovely to meet you. Thank you for popping into the Connected Media IP studio. So very exciting, you've announced your first expansion into the US.
That's true.
With a new office in LA.
Yes, indeed.
What's your opportunity in the US market?
We've been focusing on the international market for 10 years. So obviously we love emerging markets, and we became number one in each of those emerging markets, Latin America, Asia, Eastern Europe. But actually, the US is the largest market in the world, and although it doesn't grow so fast anymore, it's still the biggest. So we thought that we should have a look at how this market is now after all those global players launched, all the Netflixes and Amazon and so on, and see how the local telecom operators, pay TV operators in the US are reacting to this new trend. And what we realize is that although it's a very advanced market, very mature, most of the operators, traditional operators, are still with content offers and video on demand offers that were attractive a couple of years ago, but not necessarily anymore today. And if you're a cable operator or telco here in the US nowadays, you have reasons to fear that your customers, instead of watching your set-top box and your devices, are just using Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or directly the apps from different content providers.
Well, that brings me to my next question, which is that obviously Netflix and Amazon, they've got the majority of the market share. Does that mean other pay TV providers should give up their plans for VOD and OTT?
Well, you see, it's interesting because Netflix partnered with the telcos, and telcos partner with Netflix because it's a win-win situation. Netflix gains access to their users and better network access. The telcos offer Netflix in a box, but they're going to lose those customers to Netflix if they work just with Netflix. They're going to become a commodity. So it's absolutely vital for operators, and most of the big operators understood it already, that you have to have your own VOD service in order to retain your customers, gain new customers. And your own VOD service doesn't have to be necessarily a Netflix. Nobody can be a Netflix. But it has to be crafted and curated in such a way that it fits your customer needs. And that means getting help from other people like Gradius Lab to build your own service and serve your own customer base.
And who's doing it well, would you say?
Well, that's a good question, because usually telecom operators and sometimes cable operators are not necessarily great at excelling in that field. In the US, I think Comcast is doing great, but out of the US, not so many. Our customer Telefonica in Latin America didn't used to do quite well. Now, after a couple of years of hard work, they're excelling. They're doing very well, good numbers, great growth, great customer retention. So I think Telefonica is one of those who's starting to do quite well in that field.
So there's a lot of opportunity then for organisations like that to kind of change their model and to really grab those opportunities.
Absolutely.
And you can help them.
And we can help them, and actually we can even help those who are already in the game and want, like in the US market, who want to go beyond what they have and enrich their content with content coming from other parts of the world, maybe with a better marketing approach, a better customer approach. So that's a bit our fresh look to the US market. That's what we can bring to the US market.
Well, I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more from Gradius Lab. Mihai Crasneanu, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you for
Great to have
having
you in
me.
the studio. We'll be watching you closely and come back and talk to us again next year.
Thank you, we'll be there.